So, a very warm good morning from my side. My name is Kerstin Rosenow. I'm the head of unit Research and Innovation in DG AGRI. And the purpose of this seminar today here is to help you prepare the CAP strategic plan, and in particular with regards to the role of innovation networking in the member states. So this is the second in a series. So we've tried to create small groups to make sure that we can be as interactive as possible, so that you can take as much as possible things home, which are hopefully helpful for you in this very demanding process of setting up your CAP strategic plan, in which research and innovation and knowledge will have a much bigger role, I believe, than in the past. So next slide, please, Isabel. So what is clear that agriculture is really getting more and more knowledge intensive and innovation intensive by the day. So it's not only because we have Green Deal as, let's say, at least at European level, you know, as a framework, but also partly due to it. So with the Farm to Fork strategy, for instance, we have many very ambitious targets that actually influence, will influence how we have to go about research and innovation and the challenges that we have. If we see research and innovation and knowledge also as key enablers for the transition that we want to bring about, then we know there's quite a challenge ahead. Next slide, please. So it's clear that also the CAP post 2020, please click once more, Isabel, so we can see the cross-cutting objective. Thanks. So we have, then, as you know, the 9 specific objective, and then we have one supporting cross-cutting objective. And the cross-cutting objective is really on knowledge and innovation. So really supporting that we get to the aim of the other 9 cross-cutting objective. So it's very important for all of these areas, and that we have to take into account also when setting up the CAP strategic plan. So there's really a specific role, and also in the discussions with Council and Parliament, it's clear that this role was important and was retained, which is important for our future work. So it's if we look at this, so the new CAP, next slide, Isabel, combined with all the different targets that we have in the Green Deal, no matter if we look at pesticides, if we look at fertilizers, antimicrobials, land under organic production, and so on. So there's a huge amount of things to do. And if we talk in agricultural terms, what does this mean? We have to achieve all of this in only 9 growing seasons. And not, I mean, for a researcher, this is basically tomorrow. But even in different contexts, so 2030 is really in front of the door already. So the good news is, next slide please, is that we're not starting from scratch. So we have done quite a number of things already that we've put on the way. They're maybe not perfect yet, and we need to improve and build on this. You will tell us. But a good thing is that we have, everybody of you will have probably seen this already, that we have really tried to bring CAP and Horizon Europe closer together, to build synergies, to make sure that what we do under research and innovation under Horizon doesn't stay on the shelves in the universities, in the laboratories, but gets out on the field, and that ideas from the field or the forest come back to us, where there's still a need to further explore what has to be done in research and innovation. We do that through the multi-actor approach, which most of you will know quite well. There is an obligation for many of the research projects to already consider end user concerns from the start, which is legally built in. We have the thematic networks where we already gather what is there in Europe, also in terms of research and innovation, we don't need to reinvent the wheel every time. Sometimes it's just about bringing it together and making it known out there. And then, of course, we have as a centerpiece the EIP operational groups, which really are there as first of all as end users, and there are specific needs where we can help with innovation and research solutions that are already out there, but also where we gather new and fresh ideas in the focus groups where many of you have participated, what we need to do for the future. So this is a little bit what we have. And next slide. And there is already a basis. So sometimes we say a bit jokingly, before the Green Deal was there, we have already invented it. So it isn't that we start working on Green Deal related topics as of today. We have done that already. And we have already a lot of things that will become available now that can be transported over the operational groups and other means. So we have 315 projects, around 2 billion euros that we've already spending under Horizon 2020, with many of the results coming in. A lot of these projects are multi-actor projects with a lot of thematic networks where a lot of you are profiting from the knowledge generated. So we have more than 2,000 operational groups working on the ground, and they get more by the day. So in the beginning, we were thinking that maybe this 3,200 OGs that you have programmed in your plans, we will not get there, but we by now we would say we believe that we will. So we have a growing and thriving network and an increasing volume of practice-oriented knowledge available. And here we also have the challenge that networking will kick in to really make sure that everybody can profit best as possible from what we have already there. Next slide, please. So we have some achievements already, but it's not time to be complacent. So we have to build on this to go further. So we have the innovative interactive innovation model established. So many of you are really enthusiastic about this new way of working. But we still also miss a fully interactive innovation system. So knowledge exchange should become more structured and regular, and constantly encourage innovation and connect also to EU outputs. And we need to better communicate, network and share outcomes with everybody included. So this is really what this seminar is also about. Next slide, please. Maybe one little word about the CUP post 2020. So what is good, I think, that I have myself participated in the discussions with Council and with Parliament, that it was never under real discussion about the central role that research, innovation and knowledge exchange should play. So it was clear that the farmer and the foresters are at the center of the agricultural knowledge and innovation system, and that we need to work towards a more integrated system. Next slide, please. And the trilogues are hopefully now going in their final phase, so that we will soon have a very stable legislative framework. And then the CAP strategic plan regulation will provide many tools for ACIS, including many functions for which the innovation strand of the CAP networks, which we discuss here today, will be very important. So the ACIS strategic approach under the cross-cutting objectives, where researchers, advisors, and CAP networks will have to collaborate more intensively to create regular knowledge flows, will be important. Then also the support for knowledge exchange and information, including advice and training. So this could be strategically used in combination with CAP network innovation actions. What is important also that the advisors, no matter whether they're private or whether they're public, will be better integrated within the ACIS. These are all the bases which are important and which have been further developed in the regulation as well. And the CAP networks, they continue a couple of current tasks, but there's also new activities and a need for better interaction. For instance, also we will have new cross-border operational groups, probably, and other actors that will have to be integrated into the networking and regularly be included and addressed. So it's also good to note that in terms of funding, for many of the things, we hope that we have a higher co-financing rate in the regulation for the activities that we want to promote. That's really good news, I think. Also that for the operational groups, many of the things that you have claimed in the past, for instance, that we can pay advances to operational groups and things like that, they have been sorted out. So I think we're on a very good track. So to finish what I was going to say in terms of introduction, so why are we here today? So the rural networks become the CAP networks. What does that mean? Many of you might not be clear about that yet. So we had before the Rural Development Network, the EIP-AGRI network, and also we should have put here the evaluation network. They all have been integrated into the new EU CAP network. Also, we have the national correspondence for this, but there will be an innovation strand. But what does that mean? Many of you might have questions that you want to further explore with regards to this. Next slide, please. And so we are here to raise awareness, so develop a common understanding of the CAPNet's innovation strand, to help building capacity of national CAPNets, really to learn from practical experience that we already have, which help. There are some good examples which already, let's say, go into the new period where we can all learn from, and to really harvest some practical experience and make it available for all key actors in the member states. So who is here? We have managing authorities, we have the NRN representatives, we have hopefully also the Horizon NCPs, because one of the aims is a closer integration of the both sides, and advisors. So the idea was really to bring already in a nutshell the future actors together, so that we can have already a discussion which will also influence the programming. So we have 3 of the webinars. So as I said before, we split you in 3 groups to make sure that we have as much interactive discussions as possible. So we're here in the middle. We have another seminar on the 10th of June to actually close the cycle and have everybody in. So for today, it's really the aim of the event of making sure that the understanding of what AKIS and the role of the potential innovation strand of the CAP work in there will be. So how can it be used best? So to also improve the AKIS, to find out how to better develop linkages among the EIP operational groups and research. So Horizon Europe. So like I said before, what can we still do? We have started to create the synergies, but what can we still do to improve knowledge flows? And I believe there's quite a number of things to still do. We already got some good ideas from the first seminar. And then also better integrate advisors into the CAP network, so advisory and research networks, by maybe organizing more dedicated network activities for advisors and to promote innovation support and knowledge exchange. So 3 things, really, what is the innovation strand? How can we better work with CAP and Horizon Europe? How can we improve the synergies? And how can we better integrate the advisors? So that's the program for today, Mark. Now I hand over to you so we can get into the more practical parts of the program.